Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be working down on the expansion table once more over on the pier section right here. Recently, we built up the beach and the ocean and this, whatever this is going to end up being. But I want to go in and I want to actually figure out what exactly this is going to look like today. So we have a little bit of work cut out for us, but I want to go ahead and I want to just get started on it. So we're just going to jump right in. All right, so I have a couple of extra 16 by 16 plates over here, but I'm thinking that maybe I use those for this and then I finish out this section right here. And then beyond that, I don't know. To be honest with you, I was thinking maybe more retaining walls, and then I could have like a walkway up here that continues all the way down, and then there'd be a way to access the train station maybe as well. I don't really know about that anymore, though. I do want to still have the pier, though. I want to have a pier for boats and things like that. But I don't really know what to do with this area right here. So that's kind of been stumping me recently. Maybe like some food vendors or something like that. I think that could be pretty cool. But I don't know if that would work in this area. So I'm going to try it out. I'm going to try and see what works and see what doesn't. But for now, we have to get started on mills plating this area because without that, we can't move forward in this process. So that's what today's video is for. We're going to get this started and we are going to see how this ends up looking. So let me grab some pieces to mills plate this area and I will be right back. All right, so I went ahead and I mills plated this whole section here. The only thing I didn't do yet was this back here and the 8 studs up at the front here. But not super worried about that. This was the main thing that I wanted to do because I wanted to see how much of an area I actually had here. And I think this is pretty good. Those 2 studs in the back are literally just going to be for the wall, assuming I put a wall there. So that is kind of what I'm thinking with that. So that's not really usable space anyway, so I'm not worried about putting that in quite yet. But this area out here, I think, is off to a decent start. Now, as for what exactly I want to go on this, I talked about maybe putting some food vendors on here. So maybe I'll take that hot dog cart right there and then put that down here. And then I could also put a couple of other things as well. I'll see if I have any small concession stands or anything like that in my collection. And we could put them down here. And then we have to figure out a tiling pattern for this because I don't want to leave it all studs. I don't think that would look that great. So that's kind of where I'm at with this at the moment. And then we also need to figure out a fence design as well. And a couple other things. But I think leaving this as like an open area for just people to kind of come down and then like get some food and then kind of just sit on some benches and relax. That's probably the best way to go about this. Maybe I have like a surfboard rental or something like that down here. I think that could be pretty cool. But other than that, I want to keep this pretty open. And then once we shift over down this way, then I could start to maybe add the rock work in the back and then have the pier up in the front just so it's not a full 48 studs here. And then we can go in and then we can have the water come up a little bit more as well. And then we can kind of go from there. That's kind of what I'm thinking. If you guys have any feedback for me, drop a comment down below to let me know what you think. But I think this is off to a decent start. So let me start working on this a little bit more. I don't really know what I want to do next. To be honest with you, I'm thinking maybe I just grab that cart and then place it down here and then maybe get some more benches. Maybe in that similar design that I did up here, which I'll pin that video in the top right if you haven't seen that yet. This video, we finished the bridge and then also worked on this area over here. So I think continuing all of this down would be good. I just have to see if I have enough light gray brick to do that. I doubt it, but it is worth a shot, I guess. So let me see what bricks I have. And also let me grab that cart, put it down here, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. All right, so I've been pretty busy over here, actually. I brought the hot dog cart over just to kind of place it around to see where it would fit. And I was thinking maybe like here, because I have a couple of ideas for this, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But I want to show you guys what I worked on. And this doesn't look like a whole lot, but it's been a lot of planning, actually, because I originally, if you guys remember, I had this arch here as well as a placeholder. But I thought by having a pillar that sticks out here, I thought that would kind of limit the access to the stairs. So I decided to take that out for the time being, and I think that helps open it up a lot more. And then this here would probably just end up being more blank wall like this, Or maybe I put an arch into the thing here, and then I could put black bricks behind it, and then maybe this is like a subway station. That could be pretty cool. I would have to figure out the logistics of that, and then I don't think it'd be too hard to do, but that is something to note as well. So that might actually happen. I just came up with that idea right now, but I think that's better than just having a continuous blank wall. And I also added a couple snot bricks in so I could add more foliage, but I also added a couple snot bricks because I remember that I had these, and these are 2x3 printed tiles that I got from Bricks and Minifigs. So these are custom prints. These are not like from official Lego sets or anything, but I thought these were pretty cool to add. And so huge shout out to Bricks and Minifigs for that. This is pretty cool. And so in doing all of this, I might actually end up raising these arches up by 1 brick just because I don't know if they're tall enough. And I don't want to have a whole bunch of bricks up here and then just have a blank wall up top here. But this is at the right height now, and so I can go in and just place a brick on the base plate and the retaining wall here, and it's the same height, which is great. So we're off to a good start here, but I think I'm going to redo this just a little bit and then raise up these arches by 1 brick, and then I'll add this arch in over here to see how that looks. And then if I decide I like it, I can go behind it and add a bunch of black brick or something like that. So that's not the end of the world. That should be a pretty easy fix, I think. So let me go in and do that really quick, and I'll show you guys how that looks. All right, so I went ahead and I built up the rest of this, and I moved these arches up by 1 brick, and I think that looks a lot better, but I might end up actually moving these arches up even more. I haven't fully decided on that yet, but I did add this arch in, and I think this looks pretty good. So let me get you guys a random figure for scale there. I think that looks great. So this one is definitely going to stay as it is, but this arch, or I guess these 3 arches, might move up 1 more brick because this is now built up to the same height as this was, which is, as you can see, just a plate higher than the Mills plate here. Well, it's 2 plates higher than the Mills plate, but it's 1 plate higher once you put the tiles on top. So I don't know if I like this big flat surface here, and so I'm probably going to go in and redo this 1 more time. But I think this is looking pretty good, and I'm a lot happier with this now because before it was literally just this. So this looks a lot nicer. This looks a lot better, and I'm quite happy with this actually. So let me go in 1 more time and raise up these arches, and then hopefully that will be the final height of it, I think. So that's going to be good, and then we can finally move on and talk about this area right down here. All right, so I went and I raised these arches up yet another time here, and I think this looks a lot better. Actually, I plan on keeping this height now. I'm much happier with this. I think it's a good scale for the figures, and also it leaves not a lot of blank wall up at the top here as well. And I do still need to add the foliage in, and obviously all of the other details as well. But I think this looks great, and I put a figure up here actually to show you kind of the height that we're working with up top here. And it will definitely have to get raised up a little bit more. But I also, I don't know if I showed this already, I went ahead and I added all of these Mills plating in up at the top here just to kind of continue that along. And it's kind of getting narrower as it goes that way. And I think that works. And then that leaves a little bit of a gap as well. These are just 2x2 bricks for the time being because I don't know what's going to go on that side yet. So I'm just leaving it like that for now, and then once I figure out what I want, then I can make it look pretty, and we can take it from there. But this is looking pretty good. I'm happy with this now, and then down here, what I can do is show you guys the very tentative placement of the hot dog cart and stuff like that. So it would kind of go like that, I think, and then maybe I could put another one here, and then, or somewhere around here maybe, and then I have a couple benches and other things scattered throughout as well. So I think that could look really good. I'm happy with this. And even just doing this little Mills plate right here, it helps kind of get a visual for what this whole area is going to end up looking like here. And so I could even move that section over to here. And so then we can have the hot dog cart and all that stuff right there. And then maybe we have something else. I don't know. I was also thinking, I don't know if I talked about this already, but I was thinking of actually bumping this out a little bit. So then this arch would be here, and then this arch would kind of come this way, and then it would go from there. The problem with that is that then this does not line up properly. So then if I were to take another arch, then it would hang over the base plate. So that's not ideal. But what I could do is just do this and then transition into rock work from here. And then that would pretty much be that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment, actually, is doing this just so it's not one total flat wall. We have this, and then maybe there's like a little lookout thing here with a couple of binoculars and things like that for figures to walk over, stand here, and I think that can be pretty cool. And then that would pretty much be that. And then so I could have this here, another small stand here, maybe a little bit of a bigger one here with some seating, and then a couple benches, maybe like down here. That's kind of my vision for it at the moment. And so I think that's actually turning out really good. So today was a little bit more of a conceptual video, but I'm really happy I got this down because now I can actually figure out what I want here and I can start to get ideas for it, because before this video started, I was kind of unsure and this was just kind of like a big gray area for me. So I'm happy I went and I did this today. And speaking of all of this stuff that we did up here, I did get a suggestion from one of the channel members that the train station needs like a signal box and then maybe like a little house for the guy who runs the signal box to live in. That would probably end up going here, I think. I don't think it would fit there. So maybe it goes here. I could also try and squeeze it over there, but it is a little bit far from the point. So I don't know if that's something that I want to do. But I do have that area right there that I probably wouldn't really use otherwise or use very well. So I think putting that there, and it would be right next to the engine shed too. So that might actually work out for the signal box, and then maybe I put like a little cottage here or something like that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. That is, I think in my head that makes sense, at least because the Tudor corner is more of like an old building with the Tudor architecture and stuff like that. And so maybe I could make a little bit of an older style thing that's decently small and put that there as well. I think that could work. That is kind of my idea at the moment for that. So that's why I haven't finished mills plating this area, just because I don't know what's going there. But huge thank you to the channel members for that idea as well. And if you're interested in becoming a channel member, the link is down in the description, or you can click the join button next to the channel name. In becoming a channel member, you get early access to videos, access to exclusive videos, members-only polls, members-only updates, and behind-the-scenes pictures, and so much more. So if you guys would consider that, I'd really appreciate it. And also the affiliate links down in the description for any of the products that you're seeing on the screen, like the roads and the train track, and even the boutique hotel is on Amazon for some reason. So if you guys are interested in supporting the channel that way, that would also be greatly appreciated. Those affiliate links don't cost you anything extra, but I earn a small commission on any sales using those links. And so that is pretty much all I've got for today's video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys liked the video, make sure to like it and subscribe, as well as click the bell notifications so you don't miss any future uploads. If you guys have any feedback for me on this area here, and if there's anything in particular you want to see, and also about the signal box and the little cottage and all that stuff, make sure to drop your comments down below to let me know what you think about all of this. And seriously, once again, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.